Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Off-Farm Income Podcast. Hey, thank you so much for joining us here on our YouTube channel for episode number 953. Well, we have got a great interview with a set of FFA students for you. Today, we're going to be speaking with Caitlyn Gloe and Jaidyen Wommack, coming to us from Louisiana High School in Louisiana, Missouri. They're going to be talking to us about a community service event, a canned food drive, and a grant they received to buy produce to give to their local food bank, and talking to us a lot about the service aspect of being in the FFA. It's a great interview. Looking forward to getting it started for you, and we're going to do that right now. Caitlyn and Jaidyen, thank you so much for coming on today.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Hey, you bet. I'm looking forward to speaking with both of you and finding out about you and what you've been doing. But in speaking with your FFA advisor, it sounds like that the two of you have kind of teamed up on a community service project.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this episode's actually coming out just the Monday after Christmas, so I'm sure that you will have given away all of your wares by then and done all of that, but I'm anxious to share what you've done, and so we'll jump into that real quick. I want to get you introduced to our audience so everybody can kind of know who they're listening to and stuff like that. So, Caitlyn, let's start with you. What year of school are you in this year?
So I'm a senior this year at Louisiana High School.
Okay.
And I am the FFA president.
Okay. Oh, awesome. So you're serving as your chapter's president.
Yes.
Okay. And do you live in town or on a farm or something kind of in between those two?
I do. I live in town, and then at my dad's I have a farm.
Oh, you do? Okay. What kind of farming does your family do there?
Right now, we've been working on a swine operation.
Oh,
we sell
really?
feeder hogs.
Oh,
Yes.
I could use you here in Idaho where I'm at. We are not a pig state, and I love to raise pigs, but man, it's hard for me to find weaners or feeders to raise up. I could really use some of your Missouri pigs over here. Okay, very good. And so that leaves us with Jaidyen. And Jaidyen, I'm gonna guess you're a senior. If not, you're lying with that sweatshirt.
Yeah, I'm a senior, and I go to Louisiana High School too.
Okay. And same question for you. Do you live on a farm? You live in town? Kind of describe that for us.
I live outside of town, about 4 miles, and my family, we raise sheep and we have chickens.
Yeah, sheep and chickens. Okay. Is that like a commercial type business for your family? Is it something that's done on the side? How does that part work?
No, we just raise them and then sell them, basically.
Okay. All right. Very good. And for both of you, with your family's farms, are these pieces of property that have been in the family for quite some time, or is this new to your parents? How's that all worked out?
For mine, my grandpa's owned his land for about 26 years now, so it's kind of been in the family for a while.
Gotcha. Okay. And how about you, Jaidyen?
And then my dad grew up in the house we live in now, so I mean, he's had the land where our sheep are.
Okay.
For
Oh,
a
wow.
while.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting. Has he ever lived in any other house?
Yeah, but I think he lived in the house we're in now for a majority of his life.
Gotcha. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. And Jaidyen, we forgot to mention you, but your officer team position, but you're serving as vice president of your chapter?
Oh, yes, I am.
Okay, so the two of you're leading the Louisiana High School FFA chapter.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
That's right, Caitlyn. Heck yeah. Yeah, you are. Good for you guys. That is fantastic. Okay, well, so let's do this. Let's talk about your time in the FFA, and we'll start with Jaidyen this time. But Jaidyen, how long have you been part of the FFA?
This is my 4th year in FFA.
Okay. And what brought you in? Why did you join the organization?
I thought like it was always cool, and then talking to like some upperclassmen, they said like it's pretty cool, and I like being around like the ag stuff like outside of school too.
Okay.
So I thought it'd be something that interests me.
Man, you know what's funny is this is exactly why I do this show, because I love to talk with people who, when I say, why did you join the FFA, they say, because that's cool. If you define being an ag and being around farmers and learning about that as cool, then you're my type of person. All right. Well, Caitlyn, Caitlyn, same question for you. What brought you into the organization and how long ago?
Yeah, so I've been in for all 4 years. Ever since I've known, my family has been huge into FFA with all my other grandfather and then mother and all of them being president as well.
Oh.
So I kind of wanted to keep the tradition, and then my whole life is around ag and I love it, and that's what I want to do with my life. So I'm very passionate about it. So why not?
Very cool. So you've got this deep family legacy in the FFA.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's great. Well, I'm sure that both of your families are very proud of you with what you're doing, and not just in school, but and not just in the community service project, but also in your roles as officers on your FFA chapter.
Yeah.
That's great. Okay. Well, let's do this. I'd love to acknowledge our FFA advisors. Who is that for you?
So our FFA advisor this year is Lindsay O'Hara. It's her second year here as our FFA advisor.
Okay. And so let's acknowledge, your advisor from your first 2 years as well. And thank you for acknowledging Mrs. O'Hara.
Yeah, so my freshman and Jaidyen and I's freshman and sophomore year, it was Bill Capps, and then he retired.
Okay, very good. Well, thank you for doing that. And so it sounds like your chapter is the size where you have just one advisor?
Yes.
How many people do you have in your chapter?
In our high school, we have 42. 42. And then we recently just added a middle school chapter, trying to, and there's 24 in that one.
Okay, got it. Now, see, that's confusing when one number is 24 and one number is 42. That's not fair. Okay, I want to find out a little bit more about your time in the FFA and what you're doing for your SAE projects, and then I want to talk about the community service project that you are involved in. So, Caitlyn, let's start with you. What do you do for your SAE?
Yeah, so my SAE this year is agriculture communications, and I keep up with all of our FFA social media, so like Instagram, our Facebook page, and everything like that, just to keep the community involved in knowing what we're doing.
So you're the social media go-to person.
Pretty much, yeah.
So when this episode comes out, you're the person that's going to be sharing this link in this episode all over the place.
Oh, yes, I got you.
Good. Now, what got you into ag communications? Why is that, how did that draw you into that particular SAE?
So I kind of went out on a limb this year just trying to do something different. And so I wanted to see how this would go. And then I like to bring our community into things a lot more, and I want them to know what's going on. So I figured, why not do this and kind of share as much as I possibly can.
Okay. Did you have a social media presence in your chapter before you took it over?
Yeah. So we have the Instagram and the Facebook page before, but I just kind of went ahead and made it more active.
Awesome. And so have you been able to grow the followers and things like that?
Yeah, we have.
Okay. And so what's the response to that been? Have you been able to, I guess, engage in your community more? Has it had impacts like in fundraisers and things like that? And I realize it's been an odd time with COVID, but how have you been able to reach people with it?
Yeah, so we've been gaining a lot of the community's interest, and also with our plant sales, they were going online last year just because of the whole COVID and we didn't have school. And so we've had that. And then most of our fundraisers have been online. So it's been easier to interact with them in the other community than just sending us a text rather than trying to get a hold of one of our emails or something like that.
Okay, very good. All right. Well, Jaidyen, what have you been doing for your SAE?
My SAE is ag education.
Okay. And so what does that look like? How do you I guess, work in your SAE and do activities that you can put into your record book?
We hold a elementary ag day. So I help with that and just helping the elementary students learn more about ag.
Okay. So the two of you are clearly people.
Oh, yeah.
It sounds funny to say it that way, but you clearly are. One of you is out there communicating. One of you is out there teaching and helping to teach people about ag. Have you always been drawn to people, or is this something you developed through the FFA?
At first, back in middle school, I would not talk to a single person. But ever since, after LDEs and stuff, I
Uh-huh.
was like, okay, I'm going to do this. And now I'm pretty good at public speaking. So I think
Okay.
it's helped me a lot.
Okay. And Jaidyen, is that the same story for you, or is it different?
Yeah, I used to not be a people's person, and now I love like going out and meeting new people and just talking to new people. And it kind of helped from like the LDs and CDs.
Yeah.
Helped a lot with.
Well, that was a trick question. I always know the answer to that question. Everybody comes into the FFA not liking public speaking, and they leave being really good at it, don't you think?
Yeah, that's most people.
Very good. Okay, well, Caitlyn, tell me about this community service project that you and Jaidyen are involved in.
Yeah, so in November, right before, I think a week before we had Thanksgiving, we got this grant from the Missouri Farmers Care. It was about $300. And so Miss O'Hara, and along with some of the chapter, they went out and bought fresh produce, as in apples and potatoes. And then we went to our local food pantry with those. But we also had a canned food drive ourselves. It was middle school versus high school. And we brought in a lot of extra stuff that we got to take there. After unloading it, we actually got to hand it out to the people in need when they came in.
Okay, so this has actually already been distributed to folks.
Yes.
That's great. Good for you. And so the origins of this idea came from your advisor?
I think, well, we have like an officer meeting type thing before school, and we always try to come up with things we can help our community with. And this was one of the big ones that we thought would be a good idea. And so she helped us get the grant, and then we kind of decided what we wanted to do with the money.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's great. So you came up as a team. Obviously, you're looking at that, at your mission statement, your creed and all of that, and that part about service. You're not taking that for granted.
Definitely not, no.
Okay, very cool. Now, so Jaidyen, let me ask you, you had this competition for the canned food drive, the middle school against the high school. Did it feel like you were picking on a bunch of little kids, or did they give you a pretty good run for your money there?
Okay.
No, it didn't feel like we were picking on anybody. They actually didn't bring in any cans, so the high school, we won by a clean plate.
It was a landslide.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, we call that a blowout in the sports world. My goodness. Oh, okay. So, but to be fair to them, they're just getting started as a middle school chapter.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
I forgot what I was going to say.
Okay. All right. So they didn't bring in any, but you guys definitely mentored and kind of demonstrated how you can do this, how you can serve your community. Because, I mean, after all, the two of you are seniors. You're going to be done at your high school here in another half of a school year, a semester. And then these students coming behind you, they're going to have to take over these leadership roles, right?
Yeah, for sure. We just want to kind of show them what's expected and then kind of grow on that just to make it better.
Yeah. Yeah, you're both acting as mentors and really setting a great example. And so the produce and the canned food and all of that, did that all go to your local, did you say it was a food bank or something like that?
Yeah, it was the local food pantry downtown is where we took it.
Okay. And then they distribute it to folks who were showing up saying we need food.
Right. So they already have quite a bit of stuff. It's kind of like a small grocery store type thing. But we were just there that day. There was about 12 of us that went down there and helped distribute it. And so then the people that usually do it, they kind of just stood back that day and let us kind of lead it.
Awesome. So you got to do it. Did you do it in your colors?
Yeah, we wore our FFA Louisiana shirts, not like the actual official dress or anything. But.
Gotcha. But you were representing.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So, Jaidyen, let me ask you, when it comes to a canned food drive, how do you do that? How do you get people to donate cans? What do you do? What gimmicks do you use, or marketing techniques or something like that?
What we did here is we just advertised it a lot, and we said there'd be a prize. Yeah. So whoever brought in the most, grade-wise, would win something.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's a big competition here because everybody likes to win. So we just kept bringing in more.
Okay. And when you say we said there'd be a prize, I'm laughing because it makes it sound like, yeah, we told everybody we'd give them something. But I'm assuming you did award something at the end, whoever brought in the most.
Yeah, we had an ice cream party.
Oh, cool. Okay. So you had an ice cream party. So it's kind of a prize for everyone.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. And how much did you wind up collecting in canned goods and donating?
So there was about two, I wouldn't say two carloads. So then in cans, there was probably between 200 and 300 cans, I'd say.
Wow.
And then we had like boxes of dried food and stuff that you could cook. There was quite a few of that too.
Wow, that's great. Good for you guys. Well, thank you for doing that. I'm sure enough people in your community have said thank you, but just in case, I want to say it too, okay?
We appreciate it.
You bet. Okay. Well, let's talk about where the two of you are heading moving forward. So, Jaidyen, let's talk to you really quick. You're going to be graduating high school here soon. What's next for you?
I plan on going to college somewhere and getting an ag education degree and maybe like a minor in sports management.
Interesting. So I am looking into my crystal ball. Am I seeing ag teacher and coach?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Are you playing sports currently?
Yeah, right now it's basketball season, so I'm playing basketball.
Yes, it is. Okay, I'm going to go with shooting guard. Am I right?
Yeah, I can be.
So what position do you line up as most often?
Usually a wing.
Okay.
2 or 3 spot.
Okay. Awesome. Good for you. So basketball, do you play any other sports?
Yeah, I play softball and I run track and I cheer.
Very cool. Oh man, you are active. Softball and track overlap. So you've got to hit so here's what I'm picturing. You're up to bat. You've got to hit the ball far enough that instead of just running the bases, you also go out and you do like a 440 and then come back around because these events are being held at the same time. How do you do them both simultaneously?
Well, here in Missouri, our softball is in the fall and the track is in the spring.
Oh, you guys tricked me. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And what position in softball?
I play shortstop.
Oh my goodness. You're that player. Awesome. That's great. Good for you. That's wonderful. Well, I am looking forward to that. So you're going to go to some college, but you know what you're going to major in. What colleges are you considering right now?
Well, there's John Wood Community College, St. Charles Community College, and possibly Mizzou.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, you know what? I admire your obviously you're giving strong consideration to starting out at a 2-year school. That's exactly what I did, and that's probably the best thing that ever happened to me, to be honest with you. I'm not sure I would have graduated had I not started out at a community college and been working full time and had the break in the tuition and stuff like that. So that's a great way to start. That shows a lot of wisdom, I think. That's good. Well, good luck to you on that. And Caitlyn, let's talk about you. Where are you heading after high school?
So after high school, I'll be going to John Wood Community College. It's in Illinois. And I'm there for 2 years. I'll be doing animal science and ag business. And then I'll actually be on their livestock judging team. And then after that, I'll be going to Western Illinois University.
Oh, man.
To further in ag business and then minor in animal science.
Oh, so you're going to – so are you flip-flopping in the first 2 years? It's animal science with an ag business minor, and then the reverse of that, your second 2 years? Did I hear that correctly?
I think so far I'm just going to go ahead and major in the ag business part of it,
Okay.
and then just keep my minor as animal science.
Very cool. All right, so you've got it all mapped out. You're also making that wise decision to start off at a community college. Is the community college, is it close enough that both of you will live at home when you do this, or do you move away to the community college?
Yeah, so it's actually close enough for us. It's only about 45-minute drive. And then school is only Tuesday through Thursday because Monday and Friday they're not in session. So We'll get to stay home and save some extra money.
Okay, good for you guys. That's a great decision. And then you've mapped it out. You've picked your major. What do you have in mind? What do you see yourself doing after graduation from college?
So after graduation, I could go a few different ways. I could either go back onto my family farm and kind of manage it, or I could work for like a big seed company. I could run an elevator. I haven't kind of decided, or I could like be a vet tech and then kind of from there further on if I wanted to be a veterinarian. So I still kind of playing with it, not really sure yet.
Okay, well, no pressure. I started out an animal science major that was pre-vet, And I quickly realized that I was lacking a couple things. One, I wasn't smart enough. Two, I didn't have the work ethic. And so I switched from pre-vet to nutrition. And then I realized again, I didn't have the work ethic and I wasn't smart enough. So then I switched to farm and ranch management, and I squeaked out a degree in animal science doing that. But it was by the thinnest of margins. So yeah, no pressure on that yet, but you sound very, very excited to devote your career into the agricultural industry somewhere.
Yeah, I'm pumped. I can't wait.
That's cool. Good for you guys. Well, I am excited for you, and I'm so grateful that we've got advisors like you have out there and organizations like the FFA to help out their local communities and advocate for agriculture and do all of that. Would you call your community, and I'll shoot this one at Caitlyn, would you call your community an agricultural community, or by doing like the canned food drive and things like that, are you helping to demonstrate the quality of ag education? Which is it?
That's kind of a tough question. I would say 50-50. We have so many different people in our community. It's kind of just scattered. We have a lot of farms around here and stuff, and Pike County Young Farmers is a big one. They love showing the younger generation, they have a whole safety day on stuff and showing that. But then we also have half the community that they love giving back, and we do have a small town, and it's mostly an older town. Mm-hmm. So they love just helping the kids at all. So it kind of just varies out into different things. Got it.
Okay. So, I mean, in some ways with what you're doing and the publicity generated by the giving, you're demonstrating to folks that, hey, these folks over here in agriculture, these young people who are, they're enthused about ag and the FFA, man, they're doing a lot of good for the community. And I think it's an important thing to do. So good job on that.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, Jaidyen, let's wrap it up with you. I got a question for you. You guys have been involved as a chapter in this giving and this community service aspect, and there's so many different things to take your attention and to take your focus in the FFA. What advice do you have for students that are just coming into the FFA? They're going to be leaders like you are, here in a few years. What advice do you have for them about not taking for granted that part of being in the FFA, that service component?
Okay, so my advice is just going in with an open mind and just think about how the community helps us in so much, so you would always want to give back to them, because without them we wouldn't be able to do as much.
Yeah, that is
as we do now.
That's a great answer. That's a really, really good answer, because it's mutually beneficial, right? Yeah. Well, ladies, it has been a lot of fun to speak with you both and to get to know you both. Good luck to you both. I'm excited for you in your careers and in college and for the rest of your high school career. And thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Well, thank you to Caitlyn and Jaidyen for joining me here on the Off-Farm Income Podcast today, and thank you to all of you for being here as well. And hey, don't forget to follow us over on Facebook and on Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, all those places, and of course, hit the subscribe button right here on YouTube. We would very, very much appreciate you having you as one of our subscribers. And hey, everybody, as always, enjoy your journey to the ultimate lifestyle business, agriculture.